All right, welcome to the Monday Money Tip Podcast, presented by Fully Funded Life. My name is Joe Sangle. This is Megan Hibbert. We are fired up to be able to serve you each and every Monday with right now relevant information to help you live a fully funded life. We're having a great time on the set today, recording a couple episodes of the podcast to be able to serve you all summer long. And speaking of summer, the official weekend starts next weekend, this coming Saturday, Sunday.
Get ready.
Kicks off summer.
Yeah.
So this is the podcast episode where we all have been waiting for. I know that you love summer the best. It's your favorite.
I do.
My favorite is fall. Second is spring. And then I love winter. And then summer. So it's kind of my last. But I like all the seasons because I like living, which is helpful. And they invented AC, which is a wonderful.
Yeah, just go inside and you're all good.
So this month we've talked about coaching.
Yes.
Tell everybody what we're going to talk about today.
Yes. So all month long we've been talking about coaching, the benefits of coaching, importance of it, how to select a great coach, why you should continue having coaching. Today we're going to talk about some frequently asked questions that individuals have asked us about coaching.
Have I seen these questions ahead of time? I have not.
Nope.
And you've got a list here, I see, 9 of them. So, and we got like 18 minutes to get through them, so it's going to be great.
Yeah.
I do want to say that today's episode is brought to you by Nespresso. They did not endorse that, but for one of the rare times, Megan got a Nespresso coffee. If you've never had Nespresso coffee, it's just absolutely amazing. It's like a custom-made.
It's good.
Frothy coffee
frothies.
Drink, which is delicious. Did you get decaf or regular calf?
Oh, regular.
Regular.
I have
decaf.
3 kids.
Yeah, she has 3 young kids under the age of 4.
They just all decided to be awake from like the hours of 2 to like 3:30.
It was a party at the Hibbert household?
It was.
Come
apparently,
on.
Jordan and I did not want to be a part of it, but apparently we got drug into it.
I remember when my son was 4, he would come in, motoring in 4 or 5 in the morning, bride awake, slap us upside the face. Because we wouldn't respond to the jabs and the pokes.
Yeah.
So he finally would slap us upside the face and demand breakfast.
He's like, I want to get up. I'm like, nope.
Son, nope. I'm going to stuff you in the pantry. And you lock you in there and you can just eat whatever you want. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great. But Nespresso is delicious. It's amazing. If you never checked it out, it's a wonderful thing that should be added to your budget.
You know, I have one at home.
You do?
I do.
How did you get one? Did you get it as a gift or did you guys actually go spend money? Or
I got it for Christmas.
Wow.
Maybe a year and a half ago. Yeah.
Well, the one we have is a gift of an amazing friend who's the pastor of a church, True North Church.
Yep.
He saw me exclaiming so much over there in Nespresso that the next, like a couple days after I went and spoke there, this showed up in the office. It's been the most amazing gift in our office. Yeah. It brings everybody up to my office multiple times a day. It allows me to talk to them all. We have a lot of fun. Yeah. And there's a dartboard right outside, so we'll play a game of darts. And sometimes they let me win. So
not last
let's
time.
Get with the frequently asked questions. How many times does Joe win at darts?
Not very often.
Not very often, actually. Yeah, okay.
He's just trying to be kind to his employees, I guess.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, right. I do like to be kind to the employees.
You do like to be kind.
I'm not going to be kind on darts.
I think the last time you were like, oh, let me play Megan because I think I can beat her. And I actually won. And he was like, oh, okay. No, I'm done. All right. So our first question, should you be in debt before investing in your own small business idea?
This isn't a coaching question. I am the coach here. What? Ask that question again. Maybe we can put it on the screen. Can we put each question on the screen? Yeah. Okay.
Should you be debt-free before investing in your own small business idea?
I would say it's helpful to be debt-free. That ideally you would be done and standing on rung number 4 of the ladder, the fully funded life ladder, which is to eliminate all non-house, non-business debt. Generally takes 12 to 36 months to do that. The average family is paying $750 to $1,500 a month on debt. And if you're starting a business, we call that a baby ox around here. And a baby ox can't carry a very big load as soon as he's born. Yep. He flops on the ground and he's not going to carry a yoke for a while. All he's going to do is eat, right? And grow, hopefully. And so the same thing is true when you're starting a small business. It's going to be a baby. It's going to eat stuff like your money and your time. And if you're debt free, it allows you to be able to allocate those dollars that used to go to debt towards helping feed the lifeline of every business, which is working capital, cash. And so do you have to be debt free? No. But it does improve your chances of that good business idea actually thriving.
I will say I came about these questions from these are questions you might have in coaching.
Oh. Oh,
coaching.
so I am
like
coaching.
getting coaching, like
Yeah.
that kind of
Welcome.
way.
My name is Joe Single, your personal money coach. Just call me Joe Money.
I feel like we had talked about
Bum,
a lot
bum,
of
bum.
a lot of other parts of coaching the rest of the month that we needed a little bit of, maybe this is your situation and you need help.
Excellent.
Here we are. Okay, so number 2, I have savings and debt and I want to invest. Should I use my savings to pay debt first or invest?
I have savings and debt. I want to invest. Should I use my savings to pay debt first or invest? Well, in the latter, we have investing before paying extra on debt.
Yep.
Okay. So we want you to make sure you're at least getting a company match in a company retirement plan. If you do not have matching funds, but you have earned income, make sure you're contributing at least $100 a month to a Roth IRA. Okay. So start investing. If you have not started investing, now a lot of people here, when they ask this question, they actually forget they're contributing to their company retirement plan. So if you're already contributing to your retirement plan and you're getting the full match and you have non-house, non-business debt, use your extra money to get rid of the debt and just get done with it. Then you can begin investing over and above rung number 3 in great earnest as you get to rung 6 on the ladder.
Yep. All right. I'm moving orders here.
Okay.
So you keep you on your toes. All right.
You're moving orders or getting orders?
I'm switching the order of the questions.
Okay. Well, I haven't read the questions, so I wouldn't know.
I just keep you on your toes. All right. What are your 5 cash envelopes?
Oh, well, that's easy. Groceries, dining out, the 2 food ones, clothing, entertainment, and spending money. Maybe we can put them on the screen here. We got groceries, dining out, clothing, entertainment, and spending money. And we use those cash envelopes. They've been the same cash envelopes. We actually have one additional one at our house right now called household. And household is all the gobbledygook it takes to run an 11-acre farmette. Just there's always something breaking. So recently we used the funds to buy new toilet seats. Oh. I mean, I feel like I just built the house. My wife said, we need new toilet seats. The kids have destroyed theirs, blah, 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 blah.
How does one destroy a toilet seat?
Believe me. I don't know. Kids are crazy. And my son is destructo boy. So, it's like ripped off. Somehow it got ripped off. I don't know what happened. I don't even want to know, frankly. So bottom line is the household cash envelope went and bought some toilet seats. Isn't that exciting? Well, and the reason you need a cash envelope is because we went into Lowe's. Oh. And if you don't have a cash envelope, you are going to blow it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Swipey.
Yeah.
Yep.
No
yeah.
swiping.
The last time I went to your house, it was like people were running everywhere. Kids were coming out of the woodwork, so I could see.
Isn't that awesome? And you guys managed to stay for a little bit, and then all of a sudden everybody got sick.
Yeah, I got the
Your baby boy threw up on you, and then your husband got sick, and then I think your whole household went down for the count.
We all got the stomach bug.
I'm
Not
sorry.
from your house.
Yeah.
It was just
brought it.
an odd coincidence.
And I was like, when you text me later saying we've all got it, I'm like, I was like 3 feet away from your son when he threw up.
Do I feel sick?
Yeah. I immediately started questioning.
I'm glad nobody else sick though. All right. What percentage of my monthly income should I invest into a 401k?
There we go. Well, this is a ladder answer. So our general guidance is you start with enough to get the match. Most businesses, for some reason, it's 3 or 4%. There's all sorts of varieties, but you need to know that you're investing enough to get the full company match. That's rung number 3. And you continue that while you move to rung 4 and pay off your non-house, non-business debt. Once you pay off your business or non-house, non-business debt, you take those dollars that used to go to the car payment, the student loan payment, the truck payment, the credit card payment, whatever, the furniture payment, credit cards. You take that money and build your savings, rung number 5, to a minimum of 3 months worth of savings of your expenses. So that's probably $10,000 to $20,000 for the average household. And somebody might be listening saying, $10,000 to $20,000 just sitting there? Yes. And you can do that. And we have millions of witnesses of that, and it's awesome. You'll build huge margin in your life. It's a pivotal moment. Yeah. Once you've achieved that, which should take only 6 to 12 months after you've paid off your non-house and non-business debt, then you should go to 15% of your gross income. That's before any taxes are removed. 15% of your money. So we're not counting what's matched. So here at I Was Broke, Now I'm Not, we match dollar for dollar, 3% of your pay. So if you're contributing 3% to get the match, and that's all you're contributing, then you would have to top it up with another 12%. Could that be in the company retirement plan? Yes. You could also set up your own Roth IRA, whichever works. Okay. And then once you pay off your house, well, the day comes to go to rung number 8, where you go to 30%. And I always like to say, there you can bless the multitudes. It's awesome.
That's good.
So those are the percentages. Good answer?
It was a good answer.
Excellent.
This is part 2 of that. But what do you do if you can contribute to an employer 401k, but there's no company match?
If you can contribute to an employer 401k and there's no match, I would not contribute to it until you have maxed out your personal Roth IRA. If somebody said, Joe, I need to know where you would set up, so I don't tell somebody what they must do. I just say what I would do if I woke up in their shoes. I would go to Schwab, schwab.com, and I would select Roth IRA. And if you're married, I would open one for you and your spouse, and I would contribute the max, what the percentage until you get to the max. Now, if your percentage is greater than the maximum amount allowed, and that it differs based on your age, then any extra, well, then the 401k can be a great solution for the overage. But I would start with your own personal Roth. It'll be a better place to do that.
All right. Is debt ever a good thing?
Absolutely. Now, call 1-800-DAVE Ramsey. Probably not going to get that answer.
No.
But I'll just say this. I started meeting with all my financial coaches, and this month has been about coaches. And I had a guy, I'll never forget his name. His name is Michael. And he and I co-led some of our divisions of our business that we were part of, a publicly traded business. And I perceived that he had great financial confidence. He had also raised a fine young daughter. His young daughter was a senior in high school. And I mean, she was just like put together, like, an excellent young lady. And I had a baby girl at home who was 4. And I was like, I'd like my daughter to turn out really good. And I wanted to understand why he has financial confidence. So I went and met with him over lunch. And he knew the context of the meeting. And in the midst of that meeting, I found out that this guy had it going on business-wise and way outside of the workplace. And he had used debt to get there. And I was in the midst of just having paid off all of my non-house, non-business debt and was rapidly paying off my house. And I made note of that. And then I went and met with another coach. And I realized he had used debt to build his business, a multi-million-dollar business, like 10 million revenue a year business, and was thriving. Then I went and met with another guy who for 30 years had used debt cautiously, wisely, with substantial margin, and had thrived. And I started taking note, hey, debt is not always created equal. That the debt that they were acquiring was debt on items that generated a return on investment and generated cash right now. And sometimes what in my mind at that time was ridiculous amounts of monthly cash flow. And so that's when I said, I'm willing to do debt. So, I had the opportunity to purchase Enjoy Stewardship Solutions in 2011. And I did debt because, for a multi-million-dollar organization, it wasn't sold for $4. And I had about $4 relative to what they needed. And I went and talked to people, and those people were willing to invest. And it took me 7 years to pay all of them off. But let me tell you something. I got what I wanted. They definitely got what they wanted, which was a tremendous return on investment.
Yeah.
And it has allowed me to be able to get what is an unbelievable thing that I get to be a part of every single day. I took risk, but I did it with lots of counsel, huge margin, and I never allowed myself to spend all the margin. Yeah. So I currently have debt. Joe Sangl has debt on 3 real estate investments, 4 real estate investments. So I have 4 real estate investments. Let's just keep adding to it. I just remembered there's a 5th one. Okay. So I have five real estate investments that have debt. Two of them are multi-unit apartment complexes. They
Mhm.
cash flow every month and mail me money every month.
Yeah.
The renters cover the mortgage payment. They cover all the repairs. We have a ridiculous margin account. And then it sends me money every month. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
And then I've got land, which pays me nothing per month. It just takes.
Yet.
But guess what? The two apartment complexes,
Yeah.
the money from it pays for my land for me. Get fired up. And then the office we're sitting in, I have some debt on it, but it's almost paid off.
Yeah.
Very excited about that.
That is exciting.
Especially since right at COVID, we were planning to build a new office.
Mm.
That the down payment on that we bought this building for less than that down payment.
Mm.
And I probably wouldn't have had that paid off for about 20 years.
Yeah.
This one's going to be paid off really fast.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
All right.
So debt, yes,
Yeah.
can be a great thing, especially when you locked it in at super low rates for a decade or longer, like I was able to. Praise the Lord.
How do you prioritize debt? What should be paid first?
Well, that's a good question. So I say dwelling debt, your house, or investment debt, which would be business debt, like my multi-unit apartment complexes, commercial office, whatever that might be. That's all rung 7 debt, house and business debt. So they're definitely the least priority. Those are building equity, hopefully, prayerfully. Rung 4 is all those non-house, non-business debts. And most of those, they only do taking. They don't generate income for you.
Yeah.
They may have got education for you, like student loan debt, but that's the ones you should prioritize. And we really do teach to restructure debt to the lowest interest possible. And then use the debt snowball technique.
Yep.
We'll have a link to it on YouTube here. Maybe we can have it pop up on the YouTube screen where you can click to the Monday Money Tip, not the Monday Money Tip podcast, when I would record little things at my desk. I've got a 6-minute video. It's our number one watch YouTube video ever is the debt snowball technique. Pretty amazing.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So our last question, do you ever recommend selling investments to get out of debt? It's a lot of debt questions. I'm not sure how that happened.
They stacked up.
It was just what people were asking. It was a lot of...
That could make sense.
Yeah.
It depends on what your goals are.
Yeah.
Many people who are approaching retirement say, hey, I want to enter into retirement with 0 debt. And so they're willing to liquidate. And they do this under the advice of the wise counsel they have in their life, retirement planning specialists, where it does make sense to do that. And so that can make sense. There's other times where it makes sense. Like I have a land investment that I own. It's a commercial lot where we were going to build our offices. Not sure I'm going to build on it now.
Yeah.
And I've had multiple offers. I've had 5 offers in the last year. And my reason for not selling it is it can't pay off one single debt, right? If the day comes that somebody makes an offer that it can pay off a total debt, like this office, I would sell it because I would have a purpose for the money and it would immediately free up cash flow from the rent this building generates every month. But I'm not in general going to sell investments to pay off my household debt. I don't know where this question's coming from, but the biggest mistake I've seen people make is they cash out their retirement plan and they're in their 30s.
Yeah.
And they forgot that the name retirement is in the name of the plan and they use the money to pay off credit cards. And in the moment, it feels great until they get the tax bill and they paid regular taxes on it. And then they paid a 10%, penalty for taking it before retirement.
Yeah.
And so they basically paid 40% of the money to the government. And then they didn't change the behavior that led to the debt in the first place. And so the debt grows right back. It's like cutting off the top of a weed with, if you want the weed to be gone, you need to pull it out by the roots or spray it with Roundup. Although Roundup sounds like it may not be the best thing to use these days. I don't know. I still use it.
Yeah.
But with a mask and on non-windy days.
Yeah.
And in very limited quantities.
I forgot there was one more question. Not about debt. Kind of. What is your best advice when trying to buy your first house?
My best advice is gotta have a house fever, because that can cause you to make terrible decisions. We saw that happen all through when the things broke loose right after the pandemic. I mean, If you're having to do things that seem insane, like you're not allowed to inspect it, you're not allowed to put any demands in place, and you're having to bid more than what they're asking, all that is insane.
Yeah.
And I know people made a lot of money that way. But let me tell you something. There's going to be a lot of people who, for the next 5 to 7 to maybe 10 years, are going to be underwater because as interest rates have risen, it is going to necessarily recess the value of homes, particularly in the areas where it was most crazy. So you can just write that down. So for me, my advice is don't get a gotta have a house fever. Be patient, build up some money to pay a down payment, and don't let that money you use for the down payment be your emergency fund. You want to be able to move in the house and maintain your emergency fund. So I do want you to get a house. Hey, if you got an FHA loan, you can put in 0 down or 3% down, but you can maintain your huge margin, your emergency fund. As long as you're somewhere in the middle of making huge progress on paying off your non-house, non-business debt on rung 4, and it doesn't shortchange, but actually helps you achieve a goal from rung 1, and it doesn't shortchange that emergency fund, and it doesn't shortchange your contribution to get the full company match, go get the house.
Yeah.
And when you do, just call us, email us, comment on the YouTube video, because that is one of the biggest dreams for a lot of people is having a space and a place, and we want you to be able to achieve it. It's also one of the number of ways to build wealth long term.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people struggled greatly during COVID in that all afterwards to get that first house because people were going so crazy. These people that were trying to get their first house couldn't match that, couldn't
It was impossible.
meet that. And so hopefully you're able to get that first house if that's you.
There you go.
But, yeah, exciting times.
It is exciting. Well, thanks so much for all the questions. They were really good. Did you want to bring any comments or are you all good?
I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Well, thank you all for joining us. It is going to be Memorial Day this coming weekend. Actually, we celebrate it on that Monday. I'm from Indianapolis, so the Indy 500 is going to happen. And it's going to be followed by the big old, is it the 600? Yeah, it's the big old Coca-Cola 600 or something.
I don't know.
In Charlotte usually. And so, hey, I hope you guys have a great weekend kicking off summer. And if you have questions, make sure you ask them. Send those to us. You can email us at info@fullyfunded.life, info@fullyfunded.life, or you can comment on one of our social media outlets, and we'll be glad to be able to maybe have your question in an upcoming episode.
Yeah.
Have a great week, everybody. Get fired up.